morning. You feel the buzz. You feel the buzz around this day. It's always a great event. It's beyond a great event. It's a fantastic event. There's no other time, and we always talk about it and say it, but we're also able to show it. Even though this function is about a little bit of time in your busy day, we hope that we always plan and hope that we can make it's just as big of impact to show what an appreciation we have, not only for your colleagues, but especially for you in this honor. And I know I've seen a few of you as have been walking around and been able to congratulate you. And I know that's a big thing. That's a real big thing to be honored by your peers. It's always one thing when you kind of submit, but when you're honored by your peers and recognized as the best for that year, it's always a big deal. So I really much so want to put this all in perspective and hope that we can make even that much more special today. Well, welcome to our 18th annual McAllen ISD Teacher of the Year Luncheon. We purposely set aside time this week to recognize our incredible teachers throughout the district, through you, because you represent all your colleagues and your campus. Our teachers are a source of great pride for our district because we are always willing to point out our educators have captured 18 state and regional titles, regional Teacher of the Year titles in the past 21 years. So there's no pressure on y'all. No pressure on the next one to make sure that y'all come through. But part about it is I know each and every one of you are thinking, well, that's okay. I'm ready. I'm ready to compete, and I'm ready to show you that McAllen, what McAllen can bring to the table at the regional level. At this point, I'd like to introduce our board president, Ms. Hilda DeSaggio, and our board secretary, Ms. Debbie Aliceda Crane. Ms. DeSaggio will be speaking in a moment and introducing the rest of the board, but first, Ms. Crane Aliceda will be offering a prayer.
Hello. Dear Lord, we thank you for the many blessings that you have sent our way and the reminders that we are surrounded by people who wish us well in our homes, in our schools, and throughout our McAllen community. We ask that you protect the men and women who fight in battlefields far from their homes and that you bring comfort to their loved ones as they pray for their well-being. Guide them home safely, Please give us the wisdom to see your hand in the wonderful things that surround us every day in every way. In your name we pray.
Good morning, everybody. I have 3 speeches. I have last year's speech, this year's speech, and this year's speech. I wasn't sure if I would still be board president at this time, but I'm here. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit from each one. First of all, I'd like to say good morning and thank everyone for being here. I'd like to take a moment and introduce the Board of Trustees. You all have met Mrs. Aliceda, our board secretary, Mr. Farias, our board member, Mr. Vela, Danny Vela, board member, and Mr. Sam Saldivar, immediate past president and board member. Unable to join us today are Mrs. Erica de la Garza Lopez, vice president, and Dr. Joe Caparuso, members, so they are also in our minds. It's also been a practice of the school district to invite members of the community who are presently candidates for the Board of Education. And here with us today, please help me welcome Mr. Jonathan Ball. Jonathan, are you here? Ms. Dalinda Alcantar. Mr. Mike Sanchez. Mr. Larry Esparza. And Mr. Joe Garcia. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Okay, now I'm going to go to my speech. Once again, it's truly an honor for me to address such a select and well-respected group of educators. As a former educator, this kind of event means a lot to me. It brings back a lot of memories of when I was in the classroom and in the schools. It reminds me a lot of, there are a lot of emotional, real, and personal experiences that I had in the classroom, in the athletic and academic field of competition, and my favorite place in the teacher's lounge. So and I know by your laughter that you know exactly what I mean. There's a lot to be learned in the Teachers Lounge, but there's also a lot to be unlearned in the Teachers Lounge. But anyhow, I enjoyed it. When I look back as an educator, I, along with all of my colleagues, and all of my colleagues here as well, I knew that from day one, we loved what we were doing. We believed in our profession, and we knew we were making a difference in the lives of students. Very often I'm asked when I was running for office, why do you want to run? And very often people say, because I want to make a difference. I believe that as an educator, and all of you as educators, we made a difference in the classrooms, and that's where teachers make their most difference. All of you, and I believe all of you, are making that difference and doing likewise because you are here, because teachers make a difference, because teachers open the door to the future, because teachers touch lives forever, because teachers are the heroes of our society, because teachers inspire the next generation, because teachers build confidence, because teachers are a symbol of learning, because teachers are leaders of learners. And why do teachers do this, and how? Why do they do this? Because teachers are the heart of education, because you are the heart of education. Very, very few people know what it really takes to be a teacher, what it takes to prepare, to plan, and present your lessons every single day, and most importantly, what it takes to make certain that every student gets it. And the fact that you are here, selected as your Campus Teacher of the Year, tells me that you are able to do that. You know how to do that. And for that honor, because of all that you do, for that honor and for all that you do for the children of McAllen ISD, this board is proud of you. This board thanks you. This board supports you. And today we both appreciate and we recognize you. In closing, after all is said and done, I want every teacher in here to remember that for every student that comes back and says thank you, hundreds will whisper thank you in your hearts, in their hearts. Congratulations to all of you, our Teachers of the Year. Thank you very much. Okay, I did say in closing, right? I did say it, but I do want to share a few thoughts with you that I shared last year, and those of you that were, I know this is a new group, so you didn't hear these last year, so I can say them again. Yes, and every board member and every candidate has to laugh. Last year, I made sure that you knew that, what is a teacher? What defines a person as a teacher? And I did some research, and I came up with a few definitions of a teacher. You might be a school teacher if you have no time for life between August and June. You might be a school teacher if you really want to slap or kick or push someone who says, it must be nice to work from 8 to 3 and have all your summers off. You might be a school teacher when you're out in public and you have this uncontrollable desire to talk to very strange children and correct their behavior. You might be a school teacher if you refer to adults as boys and girls. And you might be a school teacher if you encourage your spouse by telling him or her, you are such a good helper. You might be a school teacher if you've had your profession slammed by someone who would never, ever dream of doing your job. And you might be a school teacher if, upon meeting a child's parents, instantly answers the question, why is this kid this way? And you might be a school teacher if you believe that extremely annoying should have its own box on the report card. And finally, then this is true, this is the final one, you don't want to have children of your own because there isn't a name in the entire world that would not elevate your blood pressure. That's a teacher. Thank you so much, and congratulations to all of you.
We'll resume the program shortly. In the meantime, I hope you will enjoy the beautiful music we've selected for you today. Playing the piano is Daniel Stinkin, our McAllen High School choir accompanist, and on the saxophone, Henry Castillo, our McAllen High School band director. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in thanking our award-winning, national award-winning fine arts staff for providing such wonderful music for your honor. And please help me welcome our superintendent, Dr. James Ponce.
Good afternoon. I'd like to begin by congratulating each one of you. By virtue of your role in young people's lives, you have fostered success. You have earned the respect and admiration of your colleagues, your parents, and your students. And indeed, you are truly loved. It's been an incredible year, one that has brought our district statewide and national-wide recognition. We know that these accolades are not more important than what's going on in your classroom. We know that these accolades are happening precisely because of what's happening in our classrooms. Here are just a few. Recently, we got word that all three of our comprehensive high schools, Rowe, Memorial, and McAllen High Schools, are ranked among America's best high schools. Newsweek's national ranking highlights schools proven to be the most effective in turning out college-ready grads. So where are those reps? But kind of the beauty of it, though, is the students went through the whole system. So you take credit across, and we talk about that all the time, especially on our vertical teams, knowing that the students went through the whole system, and that accolade, while we put a title on those three schools, I think everybody knows and shares in that success. We also recently, a month ago, McAllen was also named the 2013 Best Communities for Music Education. That's a nationwide award. We were also awarded the National 2013 Magna First Place Award from the American School Board Association and the American School Board Journal, honoring the school board's best practices and innovative programs that advance student learning. So another national award. We were also named the 2013 Outstanding School Board of the Year in Texas, the highest award in the state. So that goes to our team at Lake. You know, those accolades, and there's a little bit more coming there, but it's from my position, I talk about a proud Anytime I attend an event, whether it's my own child like today or whether it's your children, I'm always proud of representing it. It's kind of the blessing of being bestowed, all these honors, and I get to be there knowing that there's a lot of hard work from a lot of great people, all caring about the children of McAllen ISD. So that's where those proud moments are, and I always think of everyone else that actually took part in that as we move forward in those awards, and it's a great honor to be a part of that. And part of that honor is also known that we are one of 26 school districts, I think it's 33 now, the nation, and part of the Digital Promise, the League of Innovative Schools. So you think about all the school districts in the nation, we're one of those districts. And they're asking us, and we're sitting at the table when they're asked about how do you innovate and how do you create and how do you make things happen, how do you make things happen at scale. And I always ask them, and they are going to come visit us more. They say, well, come visit and we'll show you how, because it's more about talent, but we can show you how it's done. We've also hosted two, I say now international, because when we have those sessions, when TLC Cube sessions, we've had school districts from Mexico come up and want to see what we're doing. I think the most farthest south was from Cancun, and I think this summer I'm going to have to help them out for about 3 weeks. There's about 4 schools there. And I was surprised when I said from Cancun. I was like, wow, you know. Because most of you have from Monterrey and from Reynosa, and they actually did Cancun. I was like, hey, let me get your card. But and as far south as McKinney. So when you start talking about people hearing and wanting to come see, and they're very, very fast. And I know we've done some visits, and we've been a little selective. And I've promised the rest of the principals that we'll be more free in saying, you just tell us where you want to go, and we'll have buses that go out and we'll kind of visit and so that they can see what's happening. And we really just want to see what's really happening, and you have some things that are going really well and some things that we know we need to work on. As we go forward, we're also known that we are also part of the Texas High Performance School Consortium. And if you hear about 2824, and I've been talking about that a little bit in some of my newsletters also talk about that. That's just one of 23 districts in the state advising the governor, the education commissioner, and the legislators about technology assessment and local control. We were named a state finalist for the 2013 HEB Excellence in Education District, the large district, one of only 5 in the state of Texas. Each year, the Texas School Business Journal publishes a special issue called the Annual Bragging Rights Magazine. It invites districts throughout the state to submit information on programs they have developed, and it selects just 12 districts to spotlight each year. This year, our TLC Cube Teaching and Learning Framework was selected for recognition as one of the top 12 innovative programs in Texas. And that's all because of what you're doing. You lead a district, and this is the most exciting part when I go around and proud to be a part of. You in your classroom with the students in front of you, you lead a district that actually leads the nation. And educators throughout the country want to learn what is happening in our classrooms. That has been truly exciting for me, and that's what I talk about when you talk about thinking that you are at the table, and again, we got the invite again with the League of Innovative Schools to go to the White House this summer again. And I can tell you that when we go to any of those meetings, that McAllen now is part of and anchor a lot of what's going on in the discussion. And I go with confidence because I know what's happening in your classrooms. And I talked about that the other day as I visit schools and I walk into classrooms. It's amazing to see what's going on with children and how excited and ready children are, and how excited teachers are to be part of what we know as we talked about today. So I want to thank you for all that we talk about. I want to thank you for the times that you probably, as we say, that in your heart, and many times that I walk through and probably don't thank you enough. But just please know that on behalf of the school district, the board, and when we talked about the other day to the students at Mac High, that those are all the decisions we really do make, and we really do think, we say, here's a child and here's a teacher. And then the principals are kind of worried, but we say, here's a child and here's a teacher. No, but really, we really do say, here's a child and here's a teacher. And then we start thinking around that and making sure that we make the best decision, not only for today, but for the future. So, again, thank you and congratulations for all your efforts.
At this time, we invite last year's District Teachers of the Year to tell us a little bit about their experiences. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Marilee Stockton from Cathy Middle School, followed by Alma Garza from Wilson Elementary School. Marilee?
Good afternoon. I can't believe that it's already been a year since I was sitting right over there last year watching the videos of each teacher that was nominated and being so amazed. You know, I felt so inspired, so humbled, and so grateful to be part of a profession that gives us the opportunity to go to work every day and make a difference. Many years ago, and this is going to date me, but I read an article in Dear Abby, and somebody asked Dear Abby, how would you define success? Well, her response was to quote, give a wonderful quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson about what he believes success to be. I loved it. And when I found a little card that had that quote, I bought 3. I gave 2 to one of each of my children and said, keep this with you. And the other one I kept and have kept on my desk for many, many years. Each year, when I start my unit on the great reformers in American history, because y'all know I'm a history teacher, when we honor the people that open doors for the rest of us to follow through, I start off my unit by asking this same question. What does success mean to you? And you should hear. I mean, I get everything from, you know, getting a good family, a good job, a good education, winning the Super Bowl, or American Idol. And inevitably, somebody will ask me, well, what do you think success is, Ms. Stockton? And this is what I say to them. Success means to laugh often and love much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to find the best in others, to appreciate beauty, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. To know that one life has breathed easier because you have lived, that is to have succeeded. So to all of you here, I wish you continued success. Congratulations, and God bless you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Wow, such wonderful speakers. It's like, can I just say ditto? Well, it's my pleasure to be here, of course, celebrating with all of you for making the impact in all of children's lives, and of course being honored by your colleagues in the district. And just to share a little bit about this past year, it's been a wonderful experience. I am very proud to have been honored by all of you, and I've met a lot of wonderful people, and one of the things that stayed with me, which I had heard before, was when we went to the HEB Excellence Award, one of the key speakers, Ms. Soledad O'Brien, mentioned the story about the starfish. And I think that applies so well to the teaching profession that, well, to begin with, there was a young man who was out on the beach, for those of you that haven't heard it, who was picking up starfish because the whole beach was just covered with starfish that when the high tide came in, left him there, and he was picking them and tossing them into the ocean. And this other person was observing and asked him, you know, why are you bothering, you know, tossing that starfish when there's so many of them? And he said, as he picked a starfish up, well, it made a difference to this one. And that's what we do here. We make a difference, even if it's just one or many. We make an impact, and we make a difference in those kids' lives. And so I want to congratulate all of you for this recognition, and for you being here means that you have been successful at what you do. And this district, as has been mentioned before, is known nationwide as being a leader for integrating technology with education, and each and every one of you is part of that success. I've been very excited, of course, using our iPads this year, integrating that into teaching. I know my students have also been very excited coming up with projects. And so we move forward and continue to learn along with our students. And so, again, to conclude, may this recognition that you received today be a motivation to continue to inspire students and to help them to become those 21st century learners and to lead the way for others in this field. Rest assured that the foundation that you laid today will lead your students to success tomorrow. Congratulations again.
Thank you, ladies. In this room, we also have several people. I won't identify you, but people who have assisted with the selection process. They serve on the Teacher of the Year committee. And I'd like to also recognize someone who is our past State Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Dora Newell from Thigpen Zavala Elementary School. And now we begin with a glimpse into the classrooms of all the 2012-2013 Campus Teachers of the Year.
You're going to put it here, on this side.
My passion for teaching is driven by a student-centered philosophy that fully prepares them to be college and career.
An educator is one that teaches throughout life, for life, and about life.
I truly believe that technology is a fundamental tool that I can use in the classroom to reach my students.
It is my belief that all children have a right to an education and should be given that opportunity.
As a facilitator, I motivate them to be inquirers and to learn by investigating.
I have a passion for what I do, and I love my students. I look forward to more years of inspiring and being inspired by my precious students.
One of my beliefs is to be able to help each child achieve a goal and to take their education to the next level. Very good. The middle of the conductor.
I feel strongly that a teacher is more than an educator. We are molders of young lives, incorporating mind, body, and spirit.
Every day I learn something new from my students. I teach them and they teach me.
Teaching is an incredible opportunity to positively impact future generations. All students have the full potential to learn.
I am always looking for ways to improve the quality of education in my class and abroad.
I consider every child to be a blessing in my life.
Building an educational relationship with your students is crucial. They must feel like you are family away from home so they can value and trust you.
Through my 10 years of teaching special education, optimism is the one word that helps drive me to never give up.
I always treat my class as if they were my family and show them the importance of everyone in our classroom.
The art of teaching is about building meaningful relationships that are rewarding, inspiring, and exciting. I create truthful dreams that inspire each child to believe in oneself.
My students know that they are capable of whatever they put their minds to because they know that I believe in them.
My students become a part of a great team that is expected to do great things together.
I had the privilege and honor of placing the first brick in their learning foundation. I love teaching and making a difference in my students' lives.
To teach is to care, to listen, and to wait, to accept and to adjust at any given moment.
What is he doing right there?
After 27 years of teaching, the fire still burns as strongly as in my very first year.
Students have the chance to approach topics through different lenses and begin to see the impact the events have had on different elements of our own American history and culture.
Reason for the Civil War? The question for you reads, what were you called if you...
Physical education teaches students to be confident, responsible, respectful, and dedicated individuals. It develops leadership, teamwork, and social skills.
I've become the teacher I am because so many wonderful people have touched my life.
To see my students becoming successful is a great reward from me as a teacher.
Being able to combine my desire to teach and my love of music makes every day exciting and enjoyable.
My greatest reward as an educator has been my students. I love seeing them get excited about learning new things.
I do not believe that there is one way to teach a child. Each is unique and able to benefit from different learning styles.
My students are my inspiration when it comes to teaching. I hope that I prepare them not only for academics beyond high school, but help in making them citizens of the world.
Teaching both Spanish and French will better prepare my students to view the world differently.
I'm very thankful and feel very blessed to have a teacher's dream job where I still continuously learn new skills in a clinical setting and get to share that in the classroom.
Well, that's what y'all are going to do. You're going to make seesaws out of these leader students.
Students need to be given interesting problems to solve so that they can have opportunities for thinking, discovery, and problem solving.
In order to motivate students to learn something new and have thirst for knowledge about what one is teaching, teachers must make connections to real-world situations.
And now we begin with the presentations. Melba Fuentes, Lead Instructional Services Officer, and Dr. Jay Gonzalez, Associate Superintendent for Instructional Leadership, will be making the introductions. We'll begin with elementary. Melba. If I can have Mrs. DeShazo and Mr. Delgado. Mr. Saldívar.
I will begin this afternoon with Alvarez. First, we have our Teacher of the Year from Francisca Alvarez Elementary, Rachel Casas Leal. She has taught for 10 years and is the second grade level chair. She graduated from UTPA with a degree in Spanish. Her family moved to the United States from Mexico during her 4th grade year. She remembers how it felt to be in a new, strange place and how one of her first teachers made her feel safe enough to read out loud in class. She feels it is important to provide a classroom atmosphere in which students feel encouraged to try new things. She feels students must take ownership of their learning so meaningful connections can be made for their future learning. Rachel Casas Leal, congratulations. Our Teacher of the Year from James Bonham Elementary is Ruben Diaz. He has taught 5 years. He admits each year brings new challenges. In fact, this year, he taught 5th graders for the first time. He believes the successful person is one who inspires and impacts those they come in contact with each day. In this classroom, you will see someone who is fair but firm and encourages students to strive for excellence. Be the best person you can be, is what he tells his children. Life is about improving and improvising. His life is a good example. 7 years after graduating from UT Austin, Ruben earned his alternative certification through South Texas College and has been with us ever since. Mr. Ruben Diaz. Congratulations. Our top teacher from Dr. Carlos Castañeda Elementary is Vanessa Leal. She is certified in special education and bilingual and has taught 3 years. She views teaching as an amazing opportunity to impact lives. She holds the firm belief that every child can learn when provided with appropriate tools and opportunities. She likes to work in small groups, feeling in this way she can best get to know her students, their likes and dislikes, their strengths and their weaknesses. She has found inspiring words from none other than Nelson Mandela, who once said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." Vanessa Leal. From Jose de Escandon Elementary, we have Ernestina Proctor. She teaches kindergarten in the Deaf Education Program. She strives for every child and parent who enters her class to feel welcome. She wants children to think freely and have the confidence to capture what is rightfully theirs, the right to an education. She has earned degrees from South Texas College, UT Pan American, Stephen F. Austin, and is working towards her professional preparation in cochlear implants from Smith College in Massachusetts. She views her 11 years spent in special education as a privilege. Miss Ernestina Proctor. From Victor Fields Elementary, our Teacher of the Year is Alicia Cuellar. Every child can learn, she says, just at a different pace. Teachers have many roles. They must be caring, loving, patient, and attentive. She strongly believes that students must learn to be cooperative and share ideas. Today's teacher must be creative with lessons and make them meaningful for all students. Hands-on lessons are a must. She has taught at Fields since graduating from UT Pan American in 1997. At one time or another, she has taught kinder through 5th grade, and for 3 of those years, she was the campus IB Spanish teacher, Miss Alicia Cuellar. Moving on to Reynaldo G. Garza Elementary, we now honor Angela Gonzalez. Over 24 years, she has taught 4 different grade levels in 5 different school districts. She seems settled at Garza, where she has spent 12 years, the last 11 teaching 1st grade. She earned her bachelor's and master's from Southwest Texas State and first taught in 1986. In her class, it's not unusual to hear her class singing or acting out different rules of grammar or math, anything to get the concepts across. When asked why she became a teacher, her answer is simple. I love children, she said. She loves how they see the beauty in almost anything. Angela Gonzalez. From Leonelo H. Gonzalez Elementary, we have Kelly Gutierrez. She is a 3rd-generation Bulldog who took a non-traditional route to the classroom. She specialized in marketing at UT Pan American and went to work for the family business. After a few years of that, she found her true calling. She came to Gonzalez in 2001 and has been there ever since. For her, nothing is more rewarding than seeing bright, eager young faces on the first day of school. She takes seriously her responsibility to show children how they can effectively use certain skills to succeed. She finds it most satisfying to see the improvement from day 1 to the last day of school. Kelly Gutierrez. From Lucille McKee Hendricks Elementary, we have Nicolas Aranda. Coach Aranda has kept kids in shape for 5 years. He is a lead teacher on the Physical Education Program Grant, a Fuel Up to Play, 60 advisor, and Hendricks flag football coordinator. He taught at Seguin for 1 year and the last 4 at Hendricks. He earned his degree in kinesiology from Rice in 2006. He believes teachers are more than just educators. They are the molders of young lives, incorporating mind, body, and spirit. He says he is dedicated to strive for excellence for the benefit of the wonderful minds entrusted to him. Nicolas Aranda. As we hit Sam Houston Elementary, we honor Daniela Mendez. The role of a teacher, she says, is multiple. We must be counselor, friend, nurse, librarian, comedian, travel agent, detective, timekeeper, and even part of the geek squad. What she finds gratifying is knowing that she has played a role in each child's development. She's especially proud when students grab the reins and take off with their own learning. It is rewarding to give them the tools and then watch them explore, experiment, research, and turn into little inquirers. She graduated from UT Pan American in 2008 and is a TLC Cubed cadre member. She describes her 5 years of service as a challenge, but one in which she has enjoyed every minute. Daniela Mendez. Next, we have Andrew Jackson Elementary, and the teacher of the year is Lucia Chapa. Lucia has taught since 1999, all at Jackson. Her first class was 32 English language development children who had just recently immigrated to the United States. Lesser souls might have backed down, but she immediately felt a strong personal connection with her students. It gave her the energy, the motivation, and drive to do her best. Now she teaches 4th grade bilingual. She likes to weave songs, games, and real-life situations into lessons to make them fun, but also to make them learning and more meaningful. She graduated from UT Pan American and in 2009 earned her master's. She is now certified as a Texas school counselor. Lucia Chapa. Our next campus teacher is from Krista McAuliffe Elementary, Joel Ibanez. Joel has taught children for 18 years, the last 5 at McAuliffe. He earned his degree at Texas A&M Kingsville, always willing to help. He has served on multiple committees, including the Campus Technology Committee and the TLC Cube Cadre. He has presented to fellow staff on such topics as rigor and relevance through iPad instruction. Joel grew up in a migrant family, and he describes eloquently life's first lessons in the fields of northern states. He says the obstacles and the hardships he endured made him who he is today, a teacher dedicated to changing his students' lives. He credits his parents for instilling in him the importance of getting an education. Joel Ibanez. From Ben Milam Elementary, we have Catherine Moore. Catherine was born to be a teacher. She remembers teaching her classmates in school when they couldn't understand. She loves the challenge of working with students who might have dyslexia or ADHD. Her original life plan was to be a biblical archaeologist, and she even spent a year in Israel. It was there she fell in love with the teaching as she worked with kids as a volunteer. When she received her acceptance letter from Teach for America, she had to use a map to locate the new place called Rio Grande Valley. Even if some of her students, after 17 years, she still loves school and doesn't mind admitting it, even if some of her students refer to her as the ultimate nerd. Catherine Moore. Next, we have Jose Antonio Navarro Elementary and the Teacher of the Year, Vicki Warwis. Vicki knows fourth graders. She's taught them since 1989. She earned her degree from Pan American and is now working towards her master's. She has presented at the Parent Engagement Conference to staff, to parents on the STAR assessment. She has served as Spelling Bee sponsor, a science fair judge, and student council sponsor. She says the students need to feel the class is their home away from home, so they will value it and trust you as their teacher. Another key is to turn them on to learning and create curiosity. In this way, they become lifelong learners. Ms. Vicki Warwis. Representing Dr. Pablo Perez Elementary, we have Diane Nixon. She is the 10-year veteran who works in special education. She majored in psychology at California State, and aside from a 4-year stop in Friendship ISD, she has spent her career in McAllen. She has mentored first-year teachers, student teachers, served on the IB Leadership Committee, and chaired the special ed department since Bettis opened its doors in 2007. If she could use one word to motivate, that would be optimism. It is so rewarding, she says, to see students with disabilities teach life lessons to students without such disabilities. This is her second Campus Teacher of the Year award, Diane Nixon. At Sam Rayburn Elementary, we have Danielle Peña. Teaching has always been her passion. When a child is given the opportunity to be successful, the possibilities are endless, she says. Teachers must have high expectations and expect only the child's best effort. Always on the lookout for new ways to connect with students, she has employed song, dance, and found new uses for technology. She earned her degree from UT Pan American and came to McAllen in 2007. She has taught first grade and kinder. She has served 2 years on the district's technology cadre. Danielle Peña. From Theodore Roosevelt Elementary, we have Denise Rodriguez. When she wasn't in school as a child, she was playing school with her siblings. Her father even bought her a chalkboard as a present, and her future was set. She graduated from UT Pan American in 2006 and now teaches third grade bilingual. She has involved herself in numerous activities, including campus instructional leadership, campus technology, bully prevention committees, the science cadre, and even sponsors cheerleaders. She loves it when students start picking up on their own techniques. For instance, overhearing a student asking another to validate his answer, or what conclusions could he draw. She believes if students can make meaningful connections, they will be driven to explore with meaning. Denise Rodriguez. From Blanca E. Sanchez Elementary, we have Danette de la Tejera. Danette says the ideal teacher should be young at heart, knowledgeable, firm, understanding, nurturing, and creative. Teaching a group of 24 7-year-olds is not easy. It is something she loves, she says. She has taught 2nd and 3rd grade, plus enrichment classes in dance and art. She has participated in Relay for Life and competes in local running events. Danette compares teaching to sculpting. We must mold to be risk takers who will one day help make the world a better place. Danette de la Tejera. Our Teacher of the Year from Juan Seguin Elementary is Ada Garcia. Ada is a product of McAllen Schools. She credits her teachers for making her into the person she is today. She took a bit from each one to form her own teaching style. Giving students plenty of feedback is important, she says. Empowering them to develop and recognize their own personal learning style is also key. Her degree comes from UT Pan American, and she has served as a student teacher mentor, served on the campus instructional leadership team. She describes her students as a close-knit team of inquirers, good communicators, and open-minded learners who will be ready to take on the world. Ada Garcia. Looking at Thigpen Zavala Elementary, we have Rosie Martinez. As a little girl in a farm family, Rosie's job was to help in the cotton fields and mind the animals. Though she grew up poor, she never felt that way. Her parents encouraged her to go to college. She graduated from Pan American and went to work for the city of McAllen. Later, she went back to school to obtain a teaching certificate. 18 years later, she's still teaching kids. The last 3 years has been pre-kinder students. She describes it as a privilege and an honor, placing the first brick in their learning foundation. She has served on numerous committees and even helped secure playground equipment for her school through her work on the beautification committee. Ms. Rosie Martinez. We wrap up our profile of elementary campus teachers of the year with Woodrow Wilson Elementary. Today we are honoring Ofelia Soto. Her first career was in a hustle and bustle world of sales. Over 14 years, she advanced from sales to co-manager of a store and then district manager. So imagine the adjustment when she stepped into a classroom that was given a group of first graders to manage. She says to teach is to care, to listen, to wait, to accept, and to adjust at any given moment. She tries to tune into what each child is feeling. Some are less expressive than others, but they all tend to express gratitude with a simple smile. She has been at Wilson since the year 2000 and has taught first grade, kinder, and now pre-K. She not only helps students to evolve into lifelong learners, but feels the experience has evolved her as well. Ofelia Soto.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're starting our secondary campus Teachers of the Year. We'll start with middle schools. Our Teacher of the Year from Dorothea Brown Middle School is James Harris. As a boy, he loved the library and touring museums. He remembers how his Spanish teacher actually let him stand up and teach the class one day. Since then, he knew what he wanted to do. In high school, he was president and vice president of 14 different clubs. He graduated from the University of Iowa and earned a master's degree from American Intercontinental University in Georgia. He has taught 9 different grade levels from 1st to 12th grade and even parents in the District Evening Center. Over 27 years in McAllen, he has taught ELA, math, science, history, enrichment, and extension classes. He still finds time to travel, having visited 14 different countries. Ladies and gentlemen, James Harris. From Dr. Rodney D. Cathy Middle School, we have Bernardo Rosales. Bernardo came to McAllen in 1999 and has been at Cathy since it opened in 2000. He has taught Texas and U.S. history, plus world cultures and geography. He wants students to understand history should not just be viewed through one lens. He likes the unique approach too. For instance, he has his students present an American Revolution unit from a TV newscast perspective. He thanks his colleagues whose support, guidance, and expertise have fashioned him into the teacher he is today. Bernardo Rosales. From Alonso de Leon Middle School, we have Nelly Ramirez. She has been a coach for 28 years and is still going strong. She has never believed for one moment that what she teaches is just PE. Yes, she wants her students to focus on fitness goals, but more than that, and more than just fun and games, she wants them to be ready for the real world. She uses physical education to teach students to be confident, responsible, and respectful. In short, she uses it as a catalyst to get children to believe in themselves. She earned her bachelor's and master's degree from UT Pan American and has coached volleyball, cross country, and track. She has presented at McAllen's peer-led conferences and served as the yearbook club sponsor. She gets her kids involved in fundraisers too. In the past 4 years, her students have raised over $9,000 for a cancer foundation. We have Nelly Ramirez. And now from Michael E. Fossum Middle School, we have Carol Ann Allen. She teaches English, ESL, and journalism and has taught in McAllen for 13 of her 15 years. She graduated from UT Austin, and her classroom is a sea of burnt orange. She counts herself fortunate to work with so many talented and dedicated colleagues. She writes how amazed she is at how everyone uses their talent for the greater good of students. It's all about helping students learn and grow, she says. Carol is a 4-time grant winner, and this marks her second Campus Teacher of the Year award. In 2007, she was honored by Cathy Middle School. Ladies and gentlemen, Carol Ann Allen. From Abraham Lincoln Middle School, we have Rene de la Cruz. For 19 years, he has intrigued young minds in the realm of science. He believes a strong key to success is to incorporate activities in each lesson for students that they can relate to and learn from. However, he cautions that every day is a work in progress. There is no one-size-fits-all when it comes to teaching, he says. He has devoted his time after school and on weekends to tutor students and even makes time to attend student events. He earned his degree in the Philippines in 1995 and his master's from UT Pan American in 2010. At Lincoln, he served as department head, a new teacher mentor, team leader, and science coach. He wrote in his essay, "I live to teach. Teaching fulfills me as a person." Ladies and gentlemen, Rene de la Cruz. Our Teacher of the Year from Homer J. Morris Middle School is David Smith. It's safe to say David loves music. He has taught students now for 31 years, including the last 11 at Morris. He believes his job includes teaching students to teach themselves. He gets satisfaction knowing he will eventually send his students off to the high school with the ability to be self-reliant and self-motivated. He earned his bachelor's from Furman University in South Carolina and his master's from Southern Mississippi. He taught for 20 years at McAllen High before coming to Morris and has presented at music clinics. He loves when students do well at music competitions, but it's just as enjoyable for him when he sees them apply their discipline to other subjects outside of the band hall. That's when he knows he's done his job. David Smith. From William B. Travis Middle School, we honor Danielle Zamora. She teaches 6th grade science. Although it wasn't so long ago that she was a student in McAllen schools, she has noticed great changes. Students today are technology-driven. They're hands-on learners. She strives to use technology in her classroom and notices the impact it has on student engagement. She graduated cum laude from UT Pan American and this is her 3rd year at Travis Middle School. She admits she is young, but credits her teachers who taught her the way and have taken her under their wing to mold her into the teacher she is today. "I am grateful for their confidence in me," says Danielle. Ladies and gentlemen, Danielle Zamora. From McAllen High School, we have Deanna Carcano. She taught English for 11 years, the last 6 at McAllen High. Not bad for someone who considered switching careers after her first day in the classroom. She stuck it out and now admits her love for teaching has grown each year. This love began as a child when she would relay instructions from an 800-page auto repair manual to her father, a mechanic who could not read. You might call this her first job, but instead of money, her father provided her with storybooks she loved so dearly. Now she holds a degree from UT Pan American, a master's from Grand Canyon University, and is currently working toward a second master's. She is presented at both campus and district level, and 2 years ago she was named the Avid Teacher of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Diana Carcano. From McAllen Memorial High School, we now honor Viviana Tames. Foreign languages are her forte. For 21 years, she's taught Spanish and French. She's always held a love of language and culture. Her parents came from Cuba. As a little girl in kindergarten, she couldn't speak a word of English, but her teacher was understanding and kind. In a month, she understood English, and that tender teacher's care has always stayed with her. Teaching can take place, she says, in many areas. That's why she spent 12 years as a class sponsor, 4 years as a cheer sponsor, a prom organizer, a no siesta fiesta organizer, student council sponsor, help with beautification projects, and many others. Working on a project for the betterment of her school makes her extremely proud. She says teaching and learning are all about self-discovery. Viviana Tames. From James Nicky Rowe High School, we have Cynthia Chavez. For the past 16 years, she has taught health science technology, but she also taught anatomy, physiology, medical microbiology, and pathophysiology. She describes her life and career as an amazing roller coaster ride. She is passionate about what she does. She thanks a chemistry teacher in high school who allowed her to explore, and a band teacher who taught her the value of hard work for helping mold her into the lifelong learner she has become. She studied clinical lab science at UTPA, earned certification in health science through Texas A&M, and is planning on a master's in public health. Her curiosity is limitless. Each day she sees as an opportunity for her and her students to unlock the endless wonders math and science have to offer. Ladies and gentlemen, Cynthia Chavez. Our Teacher of the Year from Lamar Academy is Patricia Sevier. Patricia sees math as something beautiful and elegant, and her students know it. She likes to go out on a limb to get concepts across to her students. This can include singing, bungee jumping Barbie dolls, or using the iPad to investigate patterns and exponents. Connecting concepts from the chalkboard to the real world is the goal. She earned a degree in math from UT Pan American and her master's from Texas State. She began teaching in McAllen at Morris in 2001 and came to Lamar in 2008. She has served as UIL math and calculator coach, a teacher in summer math camps for 9 years, and for 5 years has worked with Texas State math professors on algebra textbook editing. Her basic philosophy on teaching is not so much to provide good answers as to provide good questions. This is her second Campus Teacher of the Year award. Patricia Sevier. From Achieve Early College High School, we honor Eduardo Cortez. He teaches 9th grade math. To connect with students, he says, a teacher must make real-world connections. All students learn differently, so adaptation is also a key component for effective teaching. He graduated from UT Pan American with a math degree and came straight to Achieve. He has participated in multiple trainings, including 21st Century Learning with Abilene Christian University. He says finding the right balance to motivate students and get the lessons across is crucial in the field of education. Ladies and gentlemen, Eduardo Cortez. From our Instruction and Guidance Center, we have Leticia Silva. Leticia has been teaching in one way, shape, or form as long as she can remember. She has taught at elementary level and teaches middle school at the ING at this time. She even spent 3 years as a child care coordinator for St. Paul Lutheran Church in McAllen, working with infants as young as 3 months. Many of her students at the ING have a troubled history. However, she feels strongly every child can be taught. Finding a way presents an everyday challenge. She makes effort to get to know her students and uses personal interest to keep them motivated. She graduated from Nicky Rowe High School in 1999 and holds a bachelor's from UT Pan American and a master's from Abilene Christian. Teachers have one of society's most significant jobs, she says. Without them, there would be no doctors, lawyers, engineers, or anything else. We have Leticia Silva.
And now for the presentation of our 2012-2013 District Teachers of the Year. We also are inviting Mrs. Patty Fallick to also join us up front. She will be making a presentation awarding $500 to each of the District Teachers of the Year, an award made by Mr. and Mrs. Larry Fallick to the RGV Community Foundation. We sincerely appreciate your help and your assistance, Mrs. Fallick. And now we'll begin with the Secondary Teacher of the Year. This individual sees real beauty in a lesson, finding opportunities to connect with students inside the classroom and far away from it. She sees her students as fascinating people with various interests and talents, and she demonstrates her appreciation of their unique skills by showing up to see them perform in concerts and plays and looking for opportunities to work side by side with them in car washes, blood drives, and chaperoning them at dances. She has been named Teacher of the Year at 2 different campuses, and she's both a 7th grade benchmark test writer for as a math consultant and an editor for an Algebra 1 textbook with Texas State University. She summarizes teaching this way: too little guidance, and they cannot even begin the problem. And with too much, they do not learn their own thinking and problem-solving skills. Ladies and gentlemen, our District Secondary Teacher of the Year, Miss Patricia Sevier from Lamar Academy.
Students need to be given interesting problems to solve so that they can have opportunities for thinking, discovery, and problem solving.
Ms. Sevier says she actively looks for new ways to approach a lesson, like engaging them through more group discussions and embracing technology. She wrote about using the Tower of Hanoi iPad game to lead students into an investigation of patterns and exponent rules, and they loved it.
Wow. I'm speechless, but thank you so much for everyone that thought of me in this way. I just cannot hardly believe it. And I love what I do, and I just can't believe that I get to actually have an award for doing what I love to do. And I get to serve with so many wonderful people just over the years. All the fellow teachers and the administrators I've worked with have just been the best, and I'm just so thankful for everything and humbled by this honor. So thank you very much.
The story of our district elementary teacher of the year begins in the Negev desert of southern Israel in 1993. Determined to become a biblical archaeologist like Indiana Jones, she studied abroad in Jerusalem, taking part in what she called amazing dig sites. But it was the volunteer work that she did while she was there that transformed her life. She took a volunteer job teaching English to kids in a nearby village. It was during that experience that the self-professed ultimate nerd discovered her real passion in life, teaching kids, especially those with disabilities. Today, her classroom bursts into spontaneous applause for heroes in American history, for authors of great literature, and for main characters who do the right thing. She works first to understand how a person thinks in order to help that person become an independent learner. Ladies and gentlemen, our elementary teacher of the year, Ms. Catherine Moore from Milam Elementary.
I consider every child to be a blessing in my life.
Catherine sums it up this way: I get to do what I love every day with a bunch of amazing kids who inspire me, challenge me, and forgive me for my bad voice. She apparently sings a lot in class. My philosophy of teaching is quite simple, she says. Love why you teach, love what you teach, and most importantly, love who you teach. Ms. Catherine Moore.
I'm gonna start crying, but thank you so much. This means so much to me because McAllen ISD is my home. And when I first moved here, I'm so happy I found it on the map. And I love my job, and I owe it all to McAllen, and thanks to everyone. I feel like I've won American Idol. So thank you.
I feel like I'm among royalty here. You have the children's lives in your hands. You're molding them, and you will see all the accomplishments that are the benefits of being a teacher. Having done your job, I know that you go home and you're not finished. You have your own families to take care of, dinner, cleaning, laundry, and then you start with your plans for the next day. It's like an unending job. From community, my husband and I have been very involved in lots of different organizations here in McAllen. We are so privileged and are happy to be able to present these awards. However, we would have liked to have presented to each and every one of you for all the work that you do and will continue to do. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of you and to all your colleagues for the incredible work that you do every day. We wish you all of you many more years of continued success. Thank you.